And
Okay.
if people join, we'll just let them in. Did I
Okay.
sound okay compared to yesterday? You said I sounded muted yesterday?
Yes, you sound much better today.
All right. Well, here comes some fellow chaplains into our Monday meditation.
Charlotte.
Yeah. We are streaming live on Facebook, Char,
Howdy do.
just to let you know, since that's my duty to let you know that everybody can see us now. Okay.
You remember Char?
So,
Hello,
you know, one of-
Rosie. Hi, Rosie. Hi, Rosie. Hi.
I thought what would be good, since we've been going through Lent together and we've been prayer partners together now for, I call that whole period from last March 15th, St. Patrick's Day, to the new St. Patrick's Day here coming up.
Yeah.
We pretty much have been doing everything on technology, and we've been holding a lot of people in prayer.
Mm.
And, you know, let's just take a brief moment of silence
Sure.
to honor our good memories of each one that has gone before us or that we've been holding in our hearts and minds.
Mm.
And let that love grow as we start today's Monday midday meditation, because we are practicing, you know, eliminating negative thoughts and infusing that space with positive. So let's remember the good for just a moment. Couple deep breaths. Letting go. Couple deep breaths of letting go. You know, I appreciate this series that we're going through for the Lenten season 2021, renew it and release. And I will talk a little bit after Donna actually does the daily word for today.
Mm.
So we've taken a couple deep breaths in so that we can release. And the daily word today is about
Healing.
very
Healing.
good.
And the affirmation is, I am healed through the divine presence within. Join me wherever you are in saying that. I am healed through the divine presence within. When I am in need of healing, I do what is necessary to care for my body, mind, and spirit. I get proper rest and eat nutritious food. I cleanse my thoughts of worry, and I make time for devotional practices. As I commit to these activities, I create a fertile field for my healing, knowing I've done everything I can to support my health makes it easier to release my healing concerns in prayer. I claim my wholeness in prayer, knowing and feeling grateful for the divine perfection of being made in God's image and likeness. I carry this awareness with me. As I focus on wholeness, it grows in my consciousness. I continue to hold thoughts of health and wholeness and do everything I can to encourage them through my choices. I am healed. Our Bible verse is from 2 Kings, chapter 20, verse 5. I have heard your prayer. I have seen your tears. Indeed, I will heal you. I am healed through the divine presence within.
I am healed through the divine presence within. What a beautiful message. One that we learn every time we go through that revelation of something's not proper. I'm going to just say it that way today instead of the way I've been saying it all weekend. I don't want to say something's wrong, because I went home the other day after Terry spoke And I wrote something on the palm of my hand when we were talking in the parking lot. And you know, we tend to look first at the wrong and not at the right. Look at how much right is going on.
Yeah.
But we've got to release that notion of something's wrong. But also we need to honor when we feel that something's wrong so that we know to release it. It's a secular or cycle that we complete. So I was stuck, and I asked Donna before Donna got on, I said, how would you like to do the daily word? And I would like to do the message that's in this release and renew. Now, one of the things that you probably don't know is I am almost at the end of that book, and I'm going to be handing it off to Sandra, one of our other prayer chaplains, who is actually going to be the worship assistant and prayer chaplain when Mark Anthony Lord, I believe that's the correct way to
That's
say
correct. That's correct.
Reverend Mark Anthony
Yeah.
Lord.
I was going to say, there's a hard B in there.
Yes, it coincides with a wonderful book, and I've been following some of the practices in that book, and lo and behold, I had I want to say a healing moment, but I went and got my COVID-19 shot, and it gave me an opportunity to heal from several issues
Mm.
of fear, mostly fear-based. You know, not really the true essence of who I am, but you know, I believe that there's only one power and one presence in the universe, God the good. And this COVID thing kind of got me throwing some, I don't know what I want to call them now, because we've already gone through a lot of them, throwing some opportunities out there for us all to overcome things, whether it was sitting in the silence or stepping up to your true higher self. Well, you know, a lot of times when things come your way, like they came my way this weekend, you know, you feel like you're stuck in a cycle and you wonder why. And, you know, maybe it's because you think you didn't learn from it the first time. Or maybe you think it's because you didn't learn from it the second time. But then you get to that third time and you discover maybe it's because you learned so much through the first time. And that second time, you need to be where you are the third time so you can help others through the process. I was terrified. I hate needles. My only needle reflections that I can recall are all negative, whether I'm a voodoo doll or you have an EpiPen stuck in your neck. They're not pleasant experiences. And I got the opportunity to hold the hand of a child whose mother just was stuck with an EpiPen. And as I'm doing that, she's asked me, so what's wrong? And I say, you know what? I don't think anything's wrong anymore. I think something's right. She's going to get the help that she needs. And you've got somebody that loves you coming to pick you up. We always do. Now, you know, the wonderful thing is I don't always love myself. And as Donna said in that healing process that we talked about in the things, I release a lot of my healing concerns through prayer. And, you know, sometimes you've got to do it in the moment and know that everything's good. So I release this feeling now of being stuck because I'm not in that cycle. I got a new understanding of why I was there in that moment again. You know, it's so now my hands can be the hands of something else. So I release feeling stuck. Many years ago, I found myself swimming in a deep depression. I think I had a really good minister at that time too. I felt engulfed by a darkness I could not control. I felt completely inert, immobile. I sat at my apartment window or my house that was being foreclosed on and looked out at the landscape. My eyes fell on the green grass. Trees with new leaves and blooming flowers were all around. Overhead, the sky was brilliant blue and spring. No matter what drama was happening in my life, the grass, the trees, and the flowers continued to grow. as the sun beckoned them into their full beauty. As I cried and prayed, I became aware of the warmth of the Christ in me, my son. This inner spirit was nudging me, pulling me to move and to grow. I didn't know how to change my life, but I was encouraged. If the grass could grow because the sun summoned it, I could get up and move by the power of God within me. So today I pray and release the feeling of being stuck. Now this is interesting because it says it came from 1 Timothy 4:14, my favorite number combination in my name. So, we learned that we get to call these things forward in the cycle, but it says, do not neglect that the gift that is in you.
Mhm.
Do not neglect the gift that is in you. So we need to say that as all of us. We are not to neglect the gift that is in us. So as you thought about the good of everybody that has blessed you in the last year,
Mhm.
the great memories of those that you see as they move forward, because they are creating new memories and new legacies for us. So let's take those thoughts of everyone that's helped us along the way and their great gratitude for which brought our, I'm going to say, luck forward into a time of meditation. Center yourself in your chair, and as you gently close your eyes, think of a luscious green pasture of clover everywhere, and the bright sun that shines down upon it, and the glow that it embraces. As you gently go and find your spot and sit for a part of your day. As you come to rest with each part of your body, you feel connected to the earth below. In your mind's eye, you wonder how many other people have sat exactly where you were
No. No.
at this particular point in your day. And you hear the nature around you, the birds as they fly across the field on their way to that far cloud in the distance. So they see something before them that they're to follow. Gently riding the wave of the sun's ray, they get closer. And as they do, the cloud becomes larger. But it doesn't block the sun. It actually enhances through the water that's in its path, that's in its process, that's part of it. It magnifies the light of that which is in front of it, providing direction. So birds know with each day that the sun rises in the east. The light of the sun draws and gives them indication whether to sing or to move, but most of all, to allow them to rejoice in their being. As they travel through their journeys, they may rest and they may nest at different periods. As they go forward, they find upon the horizon many different things and which brings them joy. Flowers, rocks, waterways, all that seem to reflect the same vibration of the sunlight, as if guiding them home. As they swoop down, they can actually hear the water as it goes past rocks and off high ledges into eddies below. For they see all the vegetation, much more than from what they saw before of the clover. They see tree tops. They see valleys. They see mountains. They see plains. And as they get a little bit lower, it obstructs because that which is below them becomes larger. So their focus is narrows to this small patch of land on a plateau next to the highest peak. As they rest on the branches of a leaning pine, they look down through the gully and see the mist rise, dancing to the sun, weaving through the cherry blossoms, swirling through the natural vines, dripping upon the ferns, the moss, the rocks, the fallen pine. Up at the top of peak, the tallest peak, the birds discover more silence, as that which is behind them, below them, is far off in the distance. They no longer hear that beginning stream. They hear that of the beginning of the stream. Much slower, as it was formed by condensation, as a drip off of the first leaf. From their journey, their heart's already beating a little bit fast. So they take in a couple deep breaths of more oxygen. Deeper and deeper as they take it in, they release that of the weary travels up the mountain and take in the crisp air of the gratitude for the light that led them there. This is the peace that passes all understanding. At a place that happens inside all understanding. Created by the love of the light that brought you through this process, so that you could see that of the divine nature supporting you in the process. Now gently step back into your bird self, or that self of your divine nature, and from this highest peak, stretch those healing wings of the grandeur that is all of you, and gently take one step forward and allow yourself to be free in the breeze, riding the wave of life, gently back into this now time and this place, in this beautiful space, a fellow man, as we say amen and amen. So we thank you for joining us today on our live feed to Facebook. This is Tim from Sequim. I want to say Reverend Emeritus done a little from Unity/Unity, Oregon, Unity in Texas, Unity everywhere, but you know, my friend and my mentor, my fellow prayer chaplains, Char, or Charlotte, her screen says, Coachman, and Charles Mawson from Unity Olympics, saying, as my mother used to say, goodbye for now.